Portugal just won 5-0. Great result. World Cup qualifier trying to get us to the World Cup, and Portugal wins it 5-0 with 2 from Joao Felix, 2 from Cristiano Ronaldo, and 1 from João Cancelo. Pretty crazy that all the players that moved to the Saudi Arabian League have bagged a goal here, right? It's kind of wild to think about, but there's so much I want to talk about. From Joao Felix's move of not choosing Benfica, which is my favorite team, to go to Saudi Arabia instead. And a lot of people doubted this move and was like, it's a money move, it's a money move, it's a money move. And I do think it was a money move, but I also think there was more to it, and I'll explain in a minute. I also want to explain how a 40-year-old guy is bagging goals. And I know the first thing that people will say is, farmer team, farmer team, farmer team, farmer team. But just a few months ago, he was in the Nations League, and he was bagging in goals against the best of the best and winning the Nation League with Portugal, right? So before we say, oh, it's just farmers, 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 remember that Portugal eliminated Germany and France in the Nations League to win the Nations League with Cristiano Ronaldo starting, right? So it's just one of those things where this farmer league thing really needs to stop becoming a thing, right? We need to stop saying it, because this guy gets called the farmer for scoring 2 goals in the Nations League in the World Cup qualifier, which he has to play. He gets called a farmer for scoring goals in Saudi Arabia. But then I see Messi do this crazy free kick or this nice goal in the MLS, and everybody's praising him. Like, oh man, he still got it. He still got it. He still got it at 37. This guy's still slaying at 37. And it's like, bro, the energy don't feel the same. I think both of them are playing in lower end leagues. I think both of them had the best of the best careers. I think both of them are still impressing me every single day. You know, you look at Argentina. Messi just scored a banger in his final game in Argentina, most likely. And he scored a real nice goal over there. And then Ronaldo bagging 2 goals to help his team to try to make a World Cup. And as a Portuguese fan, that's kind of where I want to start. As a Portuguese fan, I've been seeing so many edits or so many posts where people are saying, you know, oh man, Portugal can win the World Cup. And for me, it really, I just feel so happy to be in this conversation. Do I think Portugal could win the World Cup? I don't know. I can't honestly tell you that, because it's something that never really sat well with me. Because as a Portuguese person, you hope for that and you dream for that. But does it sit with you? Not really, because we know we're not Brazil. We know we're not Argentina. We know we're not Spain or Italy. We know we're not that. And we're becoming a powerhouse, but we were never a powerhouse. Even when we had Luis Figo and Deco and all these awesome names, we were never a powerhouse. We were never a team that other nations really feared. And now to be in a conversation where people legitimately look at us and say that we have one of the best, if not the best, squad, and for people, and this is outside of Ronaldo. We're just talking about players around Ronaldo, and people to say this squad is crazy. It's just kind of amazing for me. It's kind of like a blessing to see, because again, I just never, growing up, you know, I grew up watching that Brazilian team and that Italian team and that France team was a Don. I never thought that we would be in a spot where we're one of those. Now, I'm not saying that this Portuguese team could beat those teams. No. I'm just saying in modern football, I would say that the way people speak of us, we're in that, right? We're in that, like France, Portugal, Spain. We're in that conversation. And it's just, to me, just so freaking crazy to really be having that conversation with you. And a lot of it just stems down to Ronaldo, you know, because it's one of those things where you look at this guy that's 40 going on 41. He's going to be at the World Cup, and he has a bunch of motivated, unbelievable, talented players around him. And the reason we have this is because of Sporting, Benfica, and Porto. And it's also because of Ronaldo, because Ronaldo gave a belief to the kids in Portugal that they could do it, that they could become. And when you watch someone do these things and you're from there and you grew up in those streets and you know that area, you start to believe, if he can do it, I can do it. And we started to develop these players that are absolutely remarkable, right? And the list goes on of how many amazing, talented players that Portugal is released and continues to release. We have Kenda that's coming up still. We have Mora at Portugal has so much talent out of this small country that you really just got to take your hat off to Sporting Porto Benfica, and Benfica's putting out a lot right now. And you really got to also thank Ronaldo for Ronaldo, Figo, the ones that came before, but big time Ronaldo for making kids believe and kind of getting us into this situation. And I'm very, 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 very proud of this national team. I guess I just wanted to kind of put that out there before we start to kind of break it down. And I don't know what's going to happen. Do I think we're going to win the World Cup? I want to tell you yes, bro. I do. I want to tell you yes, but it's just it's hard for me to say yes because I understand how good France is. I understand how good Spain is. I understand how good these teams are. I'm always going to back my team. I hope they can. I really want them to. But the first thing is kind of making it, right? Got to be at that World Cup. Got to get there, man. So with that being said, big Joao Felix scored 2 goals today. And he chose, I'm a Benfica, you guys know I'm a Benfica fan. He chose, the deal for Benfica was very, very close to being done. And he decided last minute to choose Saudi Arabia, Al Nassr, and go play with Cristiano Ronaldo, which in my opinion, people are not going to believe me for this. For emotion, for the love of the game, the move to Benfica was the right move, right? For the love of the game and the emotion. But to get him back to the point where he needed to be in his career, I'm not sure Benfica was the best move for him. And I'm going to explain why. At Al Nassr with Cristiano Ronaldo, you're not going to get benched. You're going to get your opportunities. You're going to get your start. You've seen that from the beginning since he get there. He's always starting, right? If he would have got to Benfica, there's no guarantee this guy was going to play. There was no guarantee that he was 100% going to make the starting 11 and just start bagging goals and start playing off the jump. Because the competition at Benfica is a little bit more, right? And it's not that it's just a little bit more. It's that there's so much, the Champions League, it's European football, right? Everybody knows the door is rotating for every single player. You don't perform in 2 games in any team, you low-key could get benched, no matter who you are, right? We've seen Vinicius Jr. get benched this year, right? So it just doesn't matter who you are. And I think over there, playing with Ronaldo, not only are you building chemistry, but you're with Ronaldo. And to a lot of people, that might not mean a lot, but let me explain something to you. Ronaldo has a lot to say when it comes to the Portuguese national team. That's just what it is. Ronaldo's a huge, huge captain and a huge, huge part of that team. So if he says to the coach, I really feel like I'm playing well with Joao Felix and I feel like we understand each other, then Joao Felix is going to play. And the coach is going to try that and at least give it a go and see if it works out. And he gave it a go today. And what does Joao Felix do? Bag 2 goals. What did Ronaldo do? Bag 2 goals. Mind you, that before the move to Al Nassr, Joao Felix was not starting. Right? Joao Felix was not starting before the move to Al Nassr. So he starts, bags 2, Ronaldo bags 2, and he kind of getting some PT now in the national team. So when you really sit down and break down the move for Joao Felix, this was a good move for him because he got paid a stupid amount of money. He becomes a free agent in like 2 years where he can sign wherever he wants for free if he decides that. He makes a crazy amount of money for an athlete. And he's also now almost guaranteed playing time in the Portuguese national team as long as he keeps playing well at Al Nassr. So it's a win-win for Joao Felix when it comes to the World Cup season, right? Because right now I think a lot of players are just trying to make the World Cup in general and then make the World Cup squad. And him being at Al Nassr with Ronaldo gives him a really better chance than being at Benfica. Because had he played bad 3-4 games at Benfica, low-key could have got benched, and then all of a sudden he's in the same situation where he was at Barca, was at Chelsea, was at all of these teams he's gone to because Europe just hasn't been friendly to him over the last few years, right? So for me, for that, it's a fantastic move. Do I think this is the best Portugal lineup? I think it's an incredible Portugal lineup. Honestly, they started Nuno Mendes, Inácio, Ruben Dias, João Cancelo, Diogo Costa, João Neves, and Vitinha. This is fire. The only thing I will tell you as a Portuguese person, I'm not saying this because I'm Benfiquista, António Silva is in crazy form right now. António Silva is probably the center back in the Portuguese league playing the best. This guy's playing absolutely out of his mind right now. But I understand him not starting because he plays on the right, and Ruben Dias was on the right. Inácio is more of a left player, so it makes sense for Inácio to be playing. Also, Inácio has a really good pass out the back, so that makes a lot of sense, so I don't question that at all. In the front, you have João Felix, Neto, Bruno Fernandes, Cristiano Ronaldo. Would I change nothing? No. I think Neto has really, really developed and is developing really, really well at Chelsea. I think he's becoming a phenomenal, phenomenal winger. I really wouldn't change much up here. Like I said, I understand the Joao Felix with Ronaldo deal. I understand what's going on there. I get why he's playing. I understand it fully. So I mean, the lineup is what it needed to be, and they put back 5 goals in. Again, it's not a team where you expect Portugal to struggle or lose, or we all get that. But at the end of the day, you still have to win. It's football. We all know that. Things like Manchester United going out to a third division team happen. That can happen to any team. That happens in football. You got to win your games. Portugal won their game, and Ronaldo, I believe, is 2 goals away from breaking the most goals scored in World Cup qualifiers or something like that, or World Cup something. But it might be qualifiers. He's 2 goals away from breaking that record. So Ronaldo continues to break records at this guy's age, which is just phenomenal. And I don't know when he's going to stop. I don't know what's next for him. I just know one thing. Cristiano Ronaldo is still playing at a very, very high level. But to be doing what he's doing at 40 years old is something that is just absolutely phenomenal. And I don't really understand it. But I'm proud, man. I'm very, very proud of this national team. I'm very, very proud of Portugal. I'm proud of how far they've come. A lot of it is due to Ronaldo just being our GOAT. And the kids looking up to him and growing and wanting to be like Ronaldo. We'll see where it takes us. Can we win a World Cup? I mean, I truly don't. I truly don't know. You know what I mean? I truly don't. You know, do we get that energy that Argentina had going into their World Cup a couple years ago? You know, we've had so much things happen from Jota to just so much things that, you know, there's a lot of hurt in that team. So this is something that can really motivate you and strengthen. You've seen a lot of players talk about that. Like, can it motivate them and strengthen them to kind of, you know, make that push to win this thing? I'm not sure. I don't know. It would be amazing to watch. But the World Cup, man, it's still, first of all, so far away. You got to see injuries. You got to get everybody qualified. Then you got to see what injuries look like. But it's just cool that we're even in that conversation, man. Big ups to Portugal, man. Big ups to Ronaldo. Massive win.